There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning and some dark and cold.
Committed, passionate, strong.
Who brings the fire to ignite the candle?
They say there are no coincidences, but from the village of All Saints on the island of Antigua to the pulpit in Mattapan, the journey of Reverend Zenetta Armstrong seems to have been guided by a divine hand. For many, All Saints is just a name on a map, but for her, it was sacred ground, the birthplace of a quiet calling, shaped by her family's deep commitment to the local Episcopal Church and rooted in a life of faith, compassion, and humility. At the age of 12, her family moved to the Bronx, New York, and it was at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Manhattan that her true calling began to take root and blossom.
The St. Martin's Episcopal Church and my mother, those would probably be the two strongest influence in our life, deciding to go into the ministry.
In the early 1980s, she answered the call by enrolling at the Episcopal Divinity School in Boston, a path few Black women had taken in the Episcopal Church. Ordained a deacon in 1989 and a priest in 1991. Soon after, she arrived in Mattapan and became rector of the Church of the Holy Spirit. It was there that she heard, with divine clarity, the true call of her mission.
You will build relationships with your parishioners that are richer than before, and you will build relationships across the diocese. Now is the time, and it is the right time to respond to God's urgent call together.
I've known Reverend Zenetta Armstrong, as we call her Reverend Z, for over 35 years. And I came to Church of the Holy Spirit as a parishioner back then when I first met her.
She really loves the Lord, and I love the Lord, so I am always tapping into her to develop my spiritual journey. Because of her faith in God, my faith in God goes stronger.
Someone who giving up herself or surrender herself as Jesus did for the redemption of humanity.
Her sermons have led me to where I am today, that I can safely say I'm a Christian.
I believe I met Reverend Zenetta in the early 90s through Dr. Nicole Prudent. At this time, we were working together and we wanted to start a music program. And Dr. Prudent introduced me to Reverend Zenetta as a way for us to start the program. And I remember how pleasant it was for Reverend Zenetta to say, of course, yes, I love music, I love children. And then before you know it, we had one of the most beautiful programs at the Church of the Holy Spirit in Mattapan called Open Access to Music Education for Children.
There she stepped into her destiny, becoming a shoulder who carried her community with grace and stood ever ready to serve.
Well, her present and difficult time for me is when I lost my daughter and my son. She was there for me 24/7. You know, she's a person that you could call on her 24/7. She'd be always there for you.
It was a very special time of need that I needed her really bad, and she was there for me. And my family is when my son was killed. And she was there to comfort us and always give us the best advice that she can ever give us.
She usually just talks from the heart. She doesn't only talk the talk, but she walks the walk.
When I think about the way Jesus has given himself to the people, I think about Reverend Zenetta, how she has given herself the way Jesus has asked us to give ourselves.
Reverend Armstrong's ministry spilled beyond church walls. She became a voice for racial equity, youth empowerment, immigrant dignity.
When she fought along with the community to prevent the cannabis store to be open across the street and the liquor store to be open across the street. And that those two things was a great accomplishment.
Over the years, as things have evolved, Reverend Z have gotten more involved with what is going on in the community. So she's very community-based oriented at this time with everything that's going on throughout the community.
Reverend Zenetta's doors have been wide open to serve our community. I remember not too long ago, through COVID-19, then the new wave of immigrants were coming to our doors. It was a matter of just say, Reverend Zenetta, we need you. And guess what? Before you know it, she opened up not only her doors, but her heart to the community. I heard stories where Reverend Zenetta, drove people to the airport or from the airport to the church, even opened the door for them to sleep at the church.
That's the kind of person that she is. Very compassionate. We need to replicate other Reverend Z in the community. That way we still have like her in our presence, in our midst, even if she's retiring.
Sometimes we tell her she does too much and she say, I am doing God's work. That's always her answer. I'm doing God's work.
She's always there for us, for the seniors, to find out how they're doing. And she sent money to Haiti. She's a very compassionate person.
These timeless accomplishments shape the shoulders on which an entire community rises. Through the shoulders on which we stand, the Immigrant Family Services Institute honors them. After a first edition dedicated to the legacy of Franklin D'Alembert, a second is only fitting, one where Reverend Zenetta Armstrong rightfully takes her place.
It is my distinguished pleasure to recognize Reverend Zenetta Armstrong as one of the shoulders on which not only the Haitian community stand, but the Matapan community and the entire immigrant community stands.
She is a priest that gets involved in the community, and the community loves her. Whether they're homeless ones that sits in the church and drink, and they can tell you everything about Reverend Zenetta. And so everyone in the community of Matapan and beyond knows who Reverend Zenetta is.
I know so that she is one of the shoulders that this community can depend on, because she's always there and she will always be there for us.
When the immigrants came to the Church of the Holy Spirit, she was just so open. She opened the doors. She was just there for them. People that didn't have a place to sleep, she would allow immigrants to stay in the church.
Now, as she prepares to step away from ministry after 35 years of unwavering service, voices are rising from all corners, especially within the community, to say thank you and to wish her the very best for what lies ahead.
Reverend Zenetta, you have been a powerful influence in the spiritual life of myself. Your commitment to God, your commitment to spreading the gospel is outstanding. You are truly a disciple of God.
Reverend Zenetta, you have meant the world to me. I don't even know if she's replaceable.
She has been my rock for so many times in my life. When I first joined that church, I was nervous and she told me that she has my back, don't worry.
I would like to say to you, find that rest time, find that self-care to be able to move apart from everything else and have that moment of just Reverend Zenetta.
Reverend Z, I love you. You have taught me so much. Always put God first in your life, no matter what. Believe and obey.
At IFSI, It is such an honor to have known you, to have worked alongside of you to provide love and support to others. So thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your dedication. May God richly bless you.
Some brightly burning and some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings the fire to ignite the candle and makes its home. Carry a candle and run to the darkness. Seek out the lonely, the tired and torn.